writing a D&D campaign. Any advice? I love this question. I think that it's probably not super different from writing a novel. And one reason why I like D&D campaigns so much is because in general we see like creative endeavors as things that should be mass consumed. Writing definitely. We don't see and there are worlds in which this is less the case. Like the world, there's like a great community of short story science fiction that I read a lot of that stuff that isn't ever going to have a huge audience, but I'm a big fan of. And so like I'm a Clarkesworld subscriber. If you are interested in that, you should subscribe to Clarkesworld. They have a Patreon, and they're amazing. But you can also get it's all free. Like you don't need to pay for it. But if you like what the work, like they do amazing editing. They find great work, and I'm very rarely disappointed by a story in Clarkesworld. So check it out. And they also have a podcast where it's read to you, and you can listen to it in your ears instead of an audiobook, which costs money. It's amazing. What world do we live in? That's why I support them on Patreon. But I think D&D campaigns are stories written for very small audiences, and in a way that's like not like no one will judge you for it. Like this is the thing. This is what you're supposed to do, and so I love it as a way of, like scratching that itch, right? So I think it's very similar. The difference, of course, being that like sometimes you have to pants because your players are going to do things that you do not expect them to do. And if you filled out enough of the world, then and you understand the mechanics of the world, you understand the motivations of your villains, you understand sort of like what they might like what ultimately they're going to discover, then you can pants effectively. So that's really what it is. I think like in a D&D campaign, not that I've ever done this, but I've like witnessed other people do it and I'm in awe of it. Is about like you are not writing the story, you are writing the world, and you like need to understand the characters, like the non-player characters very deeply in order to sort of like handle it when your players throw you a loop and you're only like an hour into your session. A lot of writing that is about the world rather than about like what's actually happening. Grace, how do